Yeah, look, fingers crossed that Trump can be that intermediary that he has already, as you said, within the Middle East conflict as well. Now, I want to ask you about the Foreign Minister, Penny Wong. She's been unable to secure a meeting between Anthony Albanese and Donald Trump during her trip to Washington, D.C. Here's what she had to say this morning on Sky News about the US-Australia relationship.
There's no doubt that President Trump envisages a very different role for America in the world. I've been upfront about that, and we respect that. That's what the American people voted for. And so we have to navigate that, and we have to think about what is it Australia brings to the US and to the alliance in this context. And I think we bring a great deal.
Is she right? So how do you rate Labor's efforts in navigating this different role, as Penny Wong speaks about?
Well, I don't think she is right. I don't think President Trump envisages a different role for the United States. He's certainly much more robust than many of his predecessors in articulating and pursuing the United States objectives. He's dealing with a coalition of countries, a rough coalition, Russia, China, Iran, and also one should include North Korea. And he's got to put maximum pressure on those countries. He's proved hugely successful in dealing with Iran alongside his ally, the Israelis. In the case of Europe, he's got the Europeans to increase very substantially their spending on defence because, you know, the United States shouldn't just be defending Europe. Europe should be able to defend Europe as well. As for China and the Pacific, I think what Trump has done in Iran is to send a very strong message to China over Taiwan. Don't mess with the United States. So in that environment, I don't see that the United States is withdrawing from the world or pulling back or Penny Wong catastrophizing about the Trump administration. On the contrary, I think Australia has to understand that it needs to pull its weight as an ally. Alliances are two-way streets. It's not just us begging the Americans for support. We need to contribute to the alliance as well. So we need to increase our defense spending, and we need more creative diplomacy, for example, in dealing with the Quad, which is what Penny Wong has been in Washington doing. So, yeah, we could do much better than we're doing at the moment.
Well, I mean, you're a former foreign minister yourself. Realistically, what could Penny Wong have done over there that Anthony Albanese can't?
Well, she could have done two things. One is to improve the operation of the Quad, the arrangement with the United States, Japan and India to strengthen the Western alliance, in particular in the Indo-Pacific region. And to do that means giving it a more defence-oriented flavour. For example, having defence ministers come to Quad meetings, having joint military exercises and so on. So she should be more creative in building a more successful Quad, which will be a deterrent against Chinese aggression. Secondly, it is right. I mean, it's an extraordinary thing that every head of government in the world has had time with President Trump, particularly all alliance countries have had time with President Trump, but not our own Prime Minister. It's becoming embarrassing, but it goes to something which really depresses me, and that is Australia is not a player any longer in the world. Australia, not the United States, Australia is withdrawing from the world. And it's sad to see because historically Australia has been such an active and creative country under both coalition but also Labor governments.
Yeah, well, that's a really good point. It is sad to see our country diminish so much on the world stage. Alexander Downer, we have to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining me on the show this evening. Appreciate it.